On August 30th, 2012, I was in my office working on a promo plan for New Day, a track I'd just done with Alicia Keys, when I received an urgent phone call from a friend. He had devastating news. Chris Lighty, my longtime friend and manager, was dead. I had been standing in the middle of a bustling office, but when I heard the words "Chris is dead," it was like the noise around me suddenly turned off. "I can't believe I just heard you say those words to me," I told my friend. "Say it again so I'm sure I'm hearing you right." But there was no miscommunication, no mistake. Chris Lighty, the man who helped guide my career, both through the valleys and over the mountaintops, was gone. Even more devastatingly, I was being told that he had shot himself. That Chris Lighty, one of the smartest, most self-assured, and most motivated people I'd ever met, had decided to take his own life. To this day, it doesn't feel right. Chris's death was a blow on many levels. The most devastating, of course, was knowing what his loss would mean to his children. Chris's daughter, Tiffany, and I in particular were close, and I knew she worshipped the ground he walked on. As soon as I learned he had passed, I made a vow that I would look out for Tiffany in his absence. I tried to live up to that promise, rewriting my will to include her. I'm so supportive of Tiffany that I didn't even flip when she knocked the mirror off one of the Lambos I let her drive. That's how you know it's love. Beyond its impact on Chris's family, I was also worried about what his death would mean for me. Out of all my business associates, Chris was easily the one I felt closest to. I had met Chris early in my career when I was first out supporting my mixtapes. Even though he had grown up in the Bronx and was a little bit older than me, I felt like I had known him my entire life. We were very similar in our background and our energy. Chris, going by the name Baby Chris, had come up with a Bronx crew called the Violators. From snatching people's chains in clubs, he graduated to carrying records for legendary DJ Red Alert. That relationship led him to becoming the tour manager for groups like Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul. He later became a successful executive at Def Jam before launching Violator, his management company with Mona Scott. Just like I was always seeking to find balance between 50 Cent and Curtis Jackson, Chris had two distinct sides to him as well. Chris Lighty, the executive, could sit down in the boardroom and have no problem cutting a multi-million-dollar deal. But Baby Chris from the Bronx would still want to smack you in your face if you played too much around him. We were both constantly walking the tightrope between respecting our street and demonstrating our corporate character. For that reason alone, we deeply understood each other. With Chris, for the first time in my life, I had someone outside my immediate family who I trusted implicitly, with my money, with my visions, and with my future. A trust, as I've said, that is very hard for me to build. I didn't realize how much I trusted Chris till not long after he died, and I had to appear at a deposition about one of my businesses. As a lawyer quizzed me about how the operation was run, I began to realize that my answer to almost all the questions was that something Chris would handle. It really brought home to me what a huge role Chris had played in my career. I've really struggled to fill that void since Chris passed. I know I'll never find another manager like him, but there is someone out there with similar qualities that can help me, who could take some of the burden off me and allow me to focus on the bigger picture, who could advise me, push me towards even greater achievement, who could understand both 50 Cent and Curtis Jackson. I started this chapter saying the greatest attribute of most successful entrepreneurs is being an astute judge of character. So the question I have to ask myself is, have I lost faith in my ability to judge people astutely? Or have I been uneasy opening up my life and career to someone the way I did with Chris? Because to really let a manager do their best work, you've got to let them into almost all aspects of your life. I believe the answer is that I've been too guarded in trying to find another Chris. One of the goals I got to set for myself is reestablishing my confidence and ability to evaluate and read people. I've always been confident in that regard, so I need to embrace that skill set and start the process of establishing that trust with someone again. It can be scary to open your life up to someone new, but when you pick the right person, it can also be incredibly beneficial.